It's Majic 102.1, the People's Station, in the studio with Shazam of H-Town. Somebody knocking the boots.
Yeah, I'm in the building, man. What's
Let me look
up?
at this. Hold on, let me see. Shazam Conner launched solo career, Strokey Dope, reached the top 30 on the Billboard. Okay, released the single Pac-Man, collaboration with electronic producer Justin Novak. Where would people know him from? Is he a big dance music producer?
He got production over there, and they also got to put CC Peniston, featuring CC Peniston.
Okay. Now what else? I'm trying to get a rundown of all of the work, because you continue to work and not stop. Most cats think that H-Town may not be working, but if they follow you on Instagram, they know that you've been hard at work.
Yeah.
Now, and you just got back from the UK too, but I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second. So in 2024, you did the single with Bobby V. Spent 20 weeks on the adult Billboard chart. What was the name of the single you did with Bobby V?
It was called Weekend. Got over 600,000 streams on Spotify and between Apple and all that. But Bobby V.
Now, did y'all do that? Is that a collaboration that you did on your label? He did it on his label? How'd that work?
It's under my label. I got a new label called Shazam Music Inc.
Okay.
And I've been dropping everything independent. I learned from Luke. I never been with him. People don't realize, I know this, but H-Town never been with a major label. Mm-hmm. And we was classified as the biggest selling independent R&B group in the world. Wow. Because no group has sold over 1 million records independently.
Yeah, I did.
Like we did. So a lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? They be like,
well, I think they looked at y'all as a major because y'all had such big hits too.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people don't look at y'all as independent.
Yeah, but
that's good, and that's beautiful.
Yeah,
because a lot of people can't say that. Tell me about the tour that you just did overseas, man.
Well, we did England, we did Manchester, Birmingham, and then we did London. And man, it was like, wow, the love that we get in London. And another thing people don't realize, that Knocking the Boots is not our biggest song over there.
Yeah, you was telling me that. You told me one of these cuts that was off the Ladies Edition album. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I love you.
Yeah.
I do not remember that one. I had to go listen to it. He's like, no, that's the big hit over there for us, man. Not the Knocking the Boots. I'm like, what? Which is crazy. But you know what? Different places, they get attracted to certain things from a group, and that might be, they still want to hear that song.
Yeah, Knocking the Boots is still big, but it's just not the biggest.
But if y'all performing songs there, they definitely want to hear some of the other crowd favorites from that.
Yes.
How's it to still be able to go do shows like this at this level and people still excited to see you?
Well, man, I feel like it's a blessing, man. It's like a feeling that it's like a high, almost like, am I dreaming? Because, it's almost like you starting over again. When you get to my age, it's like when you first come to the game, you're a pup. And you're like, wow, they loving me like that. But then as you kind of get older, it's trying to recycle itself. You get that same feeling like, wow, they still love me like that. And then you be thinking, people lying. You be like,
are you living your dream? Is this what you thought when you thought of the music industry and what you wanted to achieve with your brother in GI? Is this what you thought it was going to be?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. We was in high school, and we really kind of started this thing. We want to make money, but as being innocent, truthfully, we really want to think we want to show out in front of our friends, and we're going to be on TV and the radio, and then, knowing eventually money will come, but we really just had a drive that we're going to make it big. And the first initiative was, man, everybody in high school gonna see us from Jack Yates, and we lived in the missionary, and we got out the missionary. It was more like that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if I can really say I knew it was gonna be this big and something. I most definitely didn't think it would be some.
Do you feel like you achieved your goals? I know you're trying to do new things, but for H-Town, do you feel like H-Town achieved its ultimate goal? Because a lot of groups don't do what you did. So even if you just stop today, it's still an achievement. Let me just say that.
I think it was a great achievement, but one thing what I feel like we didn't get a chance to do, like all the other groups like Destiny Child, Jack It Is, Drew Hill, we never, and people might not have caught this, but I can feel it. Mm-hmm. We never got to the point to where you just say, I'm just tired of H-Town. They playing so much. Like I remember we came upon a time with Destiny Child and even Beyonce. You hear them so much till you're just tired of them. Like, go sit down somewhere for a while. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't feel like H-Town ever got to that point?
I think H-Town got to the point we come at the right time, and then we disappear, like Sade. You never get enough of Sade, because Sade come, and you be like...
And she gone.
And she gone, and then she come back. And that's kind of, I felt like H-Town was that group to where we'll come, but then... Like what else? And then we'll also hit you in the head with part-time level from a soundtrack. Then bang, hit you in the head. Then we'll go dead again.
Well, now
what I'm
I
saying?
think a lot of that probably occurred too after your brother passes away. They probably say to themselves that there is no more H-Town because your brother, and we got to be honest, he was such a impactful young brother.
Yes.
When you thought of H-Town, you seen Dino initially. He was just an overpowering force. I think a lot of people thought that, okay, well, this group is done now.
Yeah.
And you've proven that the group ain't done. You're still out there doing shows. But that part of your transition is always interesting to me because it's easy to give up at that point. It's easy to let the people in your ear like, you can't do it.
Man,
you ain't going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Give up. You're going to have to find something else to do with your life now. And your business is still the business of entertainment.
Yeah, and and that was the most hurtful. Like, honestly, when those times, you would think people would say encouraging words to you, but I actually had people telling me, it's over for y'all. It's over. Like, go sit down. It ain't going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. And I remember one time one of my friends had said to me, it broke me down, but I'm such a fighter. I mean, I drive like, whatever, man. He said, man, since Dino been gone, y'all only get shows in Texas and Louisiana.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, he right. What happened? We used to get booked all over the world. And I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I gotta get back in the studio. I gotta keep dropping music. I gotta put together a new show. I gotta figure out something. But it's like,
but y'all fought back.
Yeah,
because
back.
I think people did have that idea that since Dino is no longer with us, these other two guys will not be able to continue.
Yeah.
So it took years for y'all to get them to see like, hey y'all, we still here. We still got the dance moves.
Yeah.
So how does that feel now to be on the other side of that?
Well, and it feel good because it also let me know how important that my role was in the group too. And even GI role, but my role especially as being one, at that time, the second lead, I didn't know people felt the way they felt about them high notes, man. They was like, man, because I was doing shows. If I don't do the high note, people get, man, you didn't do the high note. I'm waiting on the high note of emotions, man. You didn't. So when I start to hit on live, I start busting my high notes back again, singing, and then people start to also see how many parts that me and GI had. Like when you hear emotions, those are my parts on emotions. When you hear lick you up, those are my parts on lick you up. When you hear sex mode, GI got parts, everybody got parts. So it start to actually show, hold on, these guys got a lot of parts and you know what, and then Knocking the Boots, all three members got major parts on Knocking the Boots. So I think with that, and then me and my brother vocals are similar, you know what I'm saying? He's stronger, a little stronger, but we have the kind of similar tone. And so when they hear us, it's like, hey man, that sound like H-Town, everything, is there. And then, Shazam hitting the high notes. And then the dance move, you done seen me.
Yeah, I done seen y'all.
The dance moves
boys still
there.
doing it. Boys still doing it.
And I didn't realize how big the dance was.
Oh, no, that's that's the part of the 90s fabric right there.
Yeah.
A lot of people come to y'all show, they do love the music, but they do want to see you do the dance.
And then people come up to me about the Like It Slow dance. When I was popping, boy, you were popping it. I was like, what? So when they talk to them, and a lot of times people may think I know this, but a lot of times I don't get a chance to talk to the fans. So people will come up to me and say, man, back when I used to be doing that popping in that Like It Slow, I used to think you didn't have no spine the way you was popping. I said, no, I most definitely got a spine.
I know that's right.
So
Now you've been able to sustain all these years. What is your motivation to still continue to do it?
Number one, man, I just love music. You know what I'm saying? I still feel I'm young enough to do it. And my family, man. And my family. I have family, certain things I just have to look out for. So I have to look out for.
I dig that.
And I have to work, you know what I'm saying? I have to keep it going.
But you still have fun doing it, man.
I have fun doing it, but it's a mental thing too. I don't just do it for the money. It's also, it helps me, with my mental, like when I'm not doing it, I get depressed. I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah. And I remember my brother went through this. I said, Dino, if you get back out here and start doing show, cause my brother went through a stage and we ain't getting 60 to 70,000 a show.
He
didn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out there back then, Shazam Conner, and doing shows. And I said, they love us. I said, it's just me hitting the stage. And they going crazy. I said, you imagine if all three of us get to the stage again? And I kind of convinced him. I said, man, you depressed. You need to get out here and see the fans. Well, I don't think they love us like that no more. They don't love us no more. I said, Dino, what's wrong?
Wow.
How much, how much?
That.
Have you? No, I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah.
But,
I dig it.
But I'm like, because he kind of went through a state. He just sitting in the house, and for some reason, he thought the world did not love us no more. So I went out there again as Shazam, showed him how they going crazy over just me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I said, bro, we can't get 70,000 right now. We got,
but we can get this.
we can get 25 or 30.
Yeah.
And then and I said, listen, if you come back, you redo some shows, they gonna see. Because I said, you know what the word is, Dino? You ain't gonna show up. So I said, once the promoters see all three of us again, we can start demanding back.
Gotcha.
And I said, and I think he was just sitting there, and all of a sudden, let me tell you what got him. And because I went over there one day, and I hate to hit the put, but I went over there one day. He's sitting in the house. And the lights is off. I'm like, why your lights off? Why you Dino of H-Town and your lights is off? You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, we got to go to, I say, man, you kind of went through a decision where he was upset about how people stole this and took this, Remember I was telling you, I went after a lot of things now and went and got a lot of stuff back, but for a long time, a lot of things was taken from us. You know, money, publishing, everything. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, bro, we grown men now. Yeah, we was, at that time, we 16, 17 years old with the knock on the boots. We teenagers and we didn't know no better. But right now, by us not working, we're destroying it. We got to stay working. And I even remember one time you said it. You might not remember this. You said something to me. I think I was up here. I think you noticed that we hadn't been doing no shows. Mm-hmm. And you said, boy, if I was H-Town, I had a whole boy, I'd be touring everywhere. What y'all doing? You don't remember saying that?
I don't remember saying that, but that's what I'm saying.
But you said it to me almost like you knew we wasn't really working. Mm. You know what I'm saying? And you said something to me like, boy, if I was y'all and I had them hits y'all had, I'd be doing a show somewhere every weekend. You know what I'm saying? Y'all
do have them hits though. And I would have been out there working.
Yeah, and it resonated on me. But how I got Dino back on point, I said, stop counting your money per show. Count your money at the end of the month. I said, we can get some 25s, some 30s, some 20s. I said, we might even grab a couple of 15s. I said, you add it up, we're $200,000-$300,000 for the month. And he said, you know what? I never thought about it like that. He said, go get the show. And I went and got the shows, man. Because, people don't know this about me. I've always been the businessman of H-Town. Mm. I'm always the one talking to the labels, setting up the shows. People don't know that about me. But if Dino was here right now, I'll probably be his manager. I'll probably okay, I'm doing a solo. Okay, well, I'm not doing mine. I'm gonna work you. I'm gonna help you write your album. I'm gonna manage you. I'm gonna be the executive behind you. I'm gonna put a little money in on it too, because I want to get some points off Dino album.
Crazy.
So when I said it to that, and it resonated that Dino. Then I said another thing that made him move. I said, Dino, who can make 25,000 in 30 minutes? I said, we only on stage for 30 minutes, no more than an hour. You know what? You right. I ain't never thought about it like that. So I said, Dino, how we really getting gypped? Yeah, I know you used to getting 60 and 70, but we ain't getting that right now. You know what I'm saying? So when I did that, it kind of got him. I went and he said, well, go get me some. I went and got him some warm-up shows. He said, man, go get some warm-up shows. And I went and booked us a couple of shows in Shreveport. And them shows sold out. He said, man, you right. Man, that feel, boy, I didn't know that. I said, then, because they went crazy.
Yeah.
When all three of us, and Dino was in, people don't know this dude was yoked up. He said, Shazam, that felt so good, man. I said, I told you, man, the fans still love us. And he said, you right, man, I'm ready to go to work. I said, listen, for to go cut the deal, they gonna give us $25,000 a show. But I said, a guaranteed 30 shows, Dino. I said, so we're gonna make over 300,000 in 1 month.
Yeah.
You right. I said, I'm trying to, so I had to figure, and then that's when I went to go book it up. got the 30 dates and got the half of the money, and then trying to get the new deal with Atlantic, and all of a sudden he didn't answer the phone. I said, oh, Dino pulling some on us again.
Oh,
there you go. But then that we found out why. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean on that. I don't like talking about this too much, but you know what we mean on that. But like I said, man, and it kind of resonated. I remember a guy said, man, H-Town has those cult fans, and that really support them regard. And I realized that when me and G.I., they start still supporting us, loving us, and saying, nah, don't have nobody else in the group. We don't want to see nobody else in Dino's spot. Y'all go do it.
I'm glad y'all did it that way,
You know what I'm
too. I
saying?
think that I hate to put it like this, but I'm going to put it like this anyway. I think it was necessary for the fans to see that you didn't need somebody else to be there. It would have been cool. You could have had an extra voice, blah, blah, blah. But I think that the fan base needed to see that, oh, no, those guys can do it without nobody. I think even if y'all had came back later on and added somebody, you could have. But I think after they saw you on stage for so long, able to still maintain and do what you do, and the sound of the song is still the same, I think they were like, oh, okay, they really could do this all along. We wouldn't give them the credit that they deserve. So I'm glad that y'all did. I'm glad that was a probably scary at the time decision to make, but I'm glad that you made the decision.
And it was dark, man. You just don't know. I even got a YouTube I have a YouTube because I couldn't believe some of the stuff the fans were saying. And I'm gonna say them not my fans. When you tell me to give up and you say words like it's over or go sit down, bye bye, y'all will never be the same. I have actually, and I would think at this time when you done lost a brother that people will at least try to give you encouragement. And these people, this when I realized how crazy the internet was.
Well, people can be cruel, and it's easy to be cruel when I don't have to be accountable to you face to face, and I can be across the world or all the way down the road or never. I know I ain't gonna never bump into Shazam, so I'm gonna be as disrespectful as I can be because I think it's funny, or I'm entertaining myself and somebody else that might be looking because they gawking too. So it's just the nature of people. But again, you still prove all those people wrong because here you are. Still here, still doing shows. Just got back from overseas. People still love you. But, there's going to be some haters out there. Every now and again, it might help to put a little fuel to it. Speaking of putting fuel to it, you got another single. You got a new song. Talk to me about that.
Well, I have a new song, man. It's called Throwback. It's my solo song. You know what I'm saying? I also had one, I dropped, one with Bobby V called Weekend. I dropped Strokey Dope with H-Town. But I have this new one, Throwback. And
this is all you?
It's all me. This all me. 100% Shazam Conner. It's independent under my own independent label, Shazam Music Inc. And right now it's already streaming really well, like 73,000 streams in 3 weeks.
Why Throwback? Why that title? And what is it about?
Well, it's about telling the DJs to play this song. When I'm with my woman, DJ, y'all play this song. Me and my girl, we making hits in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? We're making hits in the bedroom. Tastefully, we making hits in the bedroom.
That boy still keeping it nasty. That boy.
But it's like it's a throwback, but it's also showing love to DJs. I say the word DJ playing this hit bag. I say that in the song, DJ play this hit bag, because this is a new throwback. Run it back for me. And basically I'm telling my girl, every time we in the bedroom, I'm gonna have a DJ to run this song back, because we making hits in this bedroom. So you know what I'm saying? I know you done made a couple of hits before right now in the bedroom.
Listen, hold on, man. I'm not mad at it. I think the song is a great song, though, man.
Thank you, man.
I'm every time you do so, I've never been so hopeful, and then maybe because I feel a somewhat of a connection to H-Town. I literally feel like, not that I was at the very, very beginning, but definitely the beginning of your recording and popularity part of your career. So it's fascinating. It's fascinating to have seen all of you grow to be these men with responsibilities and families. And at the same time, I just want to take the time to salute you too, because here you are all these years later. And I think this speaks to the city in which you live. Y'all just have this independent, I'm going to keep going, I ain't going to stop mentality. I actually think that's a citywide thing. You know what I'm saying? That all of the greats that have done it, they still doing it. They ain't stopped.
Yeah.
You know, and some
Lily
of them
Williams,
they may not even be
and
on
Charlie
your level,
Wilson.
you know.
Yeah.
But they still doing it. So, you know, in this city, it's great to see that. And then, you know, I think it's inspiring too when people see somebody like you and they say, you know what? He's not allowing age or time
drugs.
or drugs or all these things that usually stop people.
Yeah.
These boys ain't letting it get in their way, man.
Yeah.
So I salute you to that, man. It's great to see. I love to see when you do the dance music stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's to me somebody saying, you know, I want to try this.
Yeah,
I want to try that.
Yeah.
I want to try this over here. And they're not ashamed. They ain't, most importantly, they ain't afraid.
Yeah.
And I think with your career, you've grown to a level where you have the ability to go out there and stretch if you want to.
Yeah.
So, man, I salute you, man. What you going to do for the album? That's going to be my last question. When the album comes out, you want to keep dropping
first
these
of all, I
singles?
just tell you what you done for the Conner family, you know what I'm saying? Just my mama in general. And you maybe never knew this, but those birthday shots you used to do.
Nah, we know. We've talked about it before.
But I got to tell you this because you started something, because I know when you started doing those birthday things for us every year, like, you know, I seen Kandi Eastman start to do it, Rob G started to do it. But at those times, that's just some of the things, when you did that, it helped my mother more than ever. Because my mother used to get up and say, "Oh, Hatta gonna buy. I can't wait. He gonna do the birthday shots on. He gonna do this." And
let me tell you something.
And then she looked for it. Then Kandi Eastman started doing it. And then Rob G started doing it. But it really helped her through the rough times.
I got you.
And she said, "I don't know who. They don't know. This helped me." I said, "Mama, they don't know, but they showing love."
Yeah, we don't. You know, it was out of respect. But and sometimes you're a little afraid to do that.
Yeah.
Because there's also wounds there too. It's a reminder that this person ain't there anymore. So sometimes you're a little afraid. I think, you know, for you all, and I know we've done it for others as well, but for you all, y'all kind of gave the cue to keep it going. Because I know the first time we did it, I think either you called or G.I., somebody called. And after that, I think we felt comfortable doing it. Because I'm sure we reached out or something like that.
I think I called, but my mother, because what it was that she actually thought y'all was for to forget about us.
Oh,
like in her mind, like, man, so for her to hear y'all continue to talk about H-Town and shout us out or whatever, play a song, you know, they don't know. All she knows is, like, you know, she hit a horror stories in the music business.
You cannot forget H-Town
yeah.
in Houston. Now, y'all may not feel like you get the looks or the love or whatever, but no matter what, H-Town H-Town the group is a significant part of the history of the music foundation in this city. And no one should be ever allowed.
And that's why we named ourselves H-Town. What people don't realize, they didn't really start calling the city H-Town until we named ourselves H-Town.
No doubt.
You know
y'all put it on your back and carried it like a backpack to every place you went to. So salute to y'all, man.
Yeah, but thank you.
And I'm very appreciative of the group. Y'all been good to me all
Most
these
definitely,
years.
always.
Like I said, my favorite part for me is to see y'all still doing it.
Yeah.
This is the way you take care of your families, and that there's a love and thirst to still do it and thrive. So I salute you, man. Tell G.I. I said what's up. Tell the family I said hello as well. And I'm hoping that this one go platinum for you.
Man, I'm hoping it too, man. We working it, and it's coming, y'all. We gonna be doing. H-Town's coming to a city near you. Shazam Conner's coming to a city near you, and somewhere down the line, we're gonna get another H-Town album too. So it ain't. So and to let everybody know, I'm still in H-Town. I'm just doing some solo project, and me and G.I., we've been in discussion. You know what I'm saying, about bringing something back together for H-Town too. But we touring right now, so be on the lookout.
All right, it is Shazam of H-Town in the studio right now on Majic 102.1.
Yeah, that was a good interview, that man.